Power to the truth. This is Margo. This is Thursday, May 23rd, 2019, 7:39 p.m. Pacific Time, United States of America. Gonna make it a short show tonight, and we're just gonna look at earthquakes. And but before we get into that, the lake level at the Oroville Dam is currently at 891.41 feet. So it's rising, and there are other videos out there talking about what's going on. I'm just going to report on the lake level. You can go from there. So I'd like to thank Robin Westenra also for putting out a video about Lake Almanor and what's going on up there, and he showed part of my video from last night where I showed 6 earthquakes up there in the Lake Almanor region. So, you know, things are happening, and water is heavy, and it will make movement on the tectonic plates as it builds. So here we are for USGS for all magnitudes for the last 24 hours. We're showing 241 earthquakes worldwide. Of those, 22 are 2.5 magnitude or higher. So let's see what's about to come off the map. Here's a 3.1 Dominican Republic. That was at 8:25 last night. Okay, we've got plenty of time. And I'm really hoarse because I've been out and was exposed to some toxic environments. And if you're a long-time listener of my show, you know that I have to clear my voice a lot. And some days are worse than others, but so we just have to deal with it. So I'm going to start down here in the Atlantic Ocean. There was a 5.1 magnitude earthquake near the north of Ascension Island at 8:56 this morning, right on the red line. Right down here between South America and Africa. Then down here off the coast of Africa, actually on Madagascar on land, was a 4.7 near Mbanja, Madagascar at 11:30 last night. Now these times I'm telling you are Pacific time because that's my time zone. Next coming around was one on Taiwan, a 4.7 near Hualien, Taiwan at 11:12 last night. That's probably not big enough to do any damage, but you'd feel it. Here's one on land at Papua New Guinea, a 5.2 near Kiunga, Papua New Guinea at 5:34 this morning. So here's the little wave, so we can click on there and see if there was a tsunami warning with that. Not seeing one for that. And the only warning we have today is from this. There was a 6.1 up here in the Aleutian Islands. Here they're listing it as a 5.9. And the message is here, and it says an earthquake has occurred, a tsunami is not expected. So that, and then here's all the information about the earthquake. So they're assuming no tsunami from that. from either of those. Next is a 5.6 near Tadine, New Caledonia at 8:02 this morning. And then down here, Kermadec Islands, south of the Kermadec Islands at 4.8 at 11:57 last night. Then coming across to Mexico, here's one off the coast, 4.5 near San Patricio at 11:52 this morning. And I think that's all of the international earthquakes. So that's not very many. So that means 22 out of, so that means 220 are in Alaska, United States, or down here in the Caribbean. But they're small. Most of them are small, except for that 6.1. We're going to start with Hawaii. We've got 10 here today. (2.1), 2.4, 2.1, 1.9. Now these are these other events. Remember, we've had these off the coast. When they got the little triangle, it means it's not a regular earthquake. So we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 other events here. They're calling it southeast of Pahala. And there's been speculation as to what these are, whether it's a volcano going off underneath the water, or a landslide, or something. But it's causing earthquakes. So 2.4, 2.1, 1.9, and 2.7. That's the largest one, and it's right on the coast there. And then here's a 1.7 at Mauna Loa. Over here is one in the crater at Kilauea, 0.6. These are on the side of Kilauea, 1.9 and a 2.2, and then one over here, 1.9 near Fern Acres. And then up here at the top is a 1.7 near Waimea. This one is at a negative depth, so the earthquake is up in the mountain or the volcano. It's at a minus 0.7 kilometers depth. So that's definitely showing movement there. Then in the Dominican Republic, we've got 8 here today. 3.1, 2.7, 2.8, 2.7, 2.2, 2.1, 2.5, and 2.3. So those are all in the 2s range, not enough to cause damage, but still showing movement. Now let's come on up here to Alaska. We're seeing 64 here today. Now, the average is between 50 and 100 for Alaska in a day. So let's look at this area and what went on here. Now, I've talked about the small earthquakes leading to larger earthquakes. And I think this is case in point, because we've been seeing these small ones kind of swarming in these Aleutian Islands in the last week, and now this happens. So these are near the Tonaga volcano. There's a 0.4, 1.3, then here's the 6.1. They're calling it near Amatignak Island, Alaska at 1:45 this morning. And then a 1.3, 3.9, that's near Adak, and a 1.7. So that's 6 right here in this little region. So that's good size. And the depth is 27 kilometers deep. So that's not real deep. That could have caused a tsunami. We already looked at the wave and it didn't. But, and then over here is a 4.0 near Amukta Island. This one came in at 10:20 last night. But before we go on in Alaska, let's see how many of these are 2.5 magnitude or higher. 6. So we've got 1, 2, 3 right there. Here's a 3.5 anchor point. And then we've got a cluster going on over here, it looks like. We've got a 3.5 and a 2.5 at Haines Junction. But let's look at all magnitudes here. So there's 4 total. There was also 2 1.7s here at Haines Junction. This is in Canada. And then here's one in the little armpit, a 1.5 Cape Yakataga. Here's Anchorage. So we're not seeing very many here near Anchorage. This is Mount Redoubt volcano. Just seeing a few peppered around this Cook Inlet. We are seeing activity though. There's that 3.5. Here's a 2.0, 1.8, 2.2, and so forth. So these are mainly in the 2s range. 2.2 Big Lake. That's near Anchorage. So we can see them moving on up. Here's a 2.4 Cantwell. So they're moving on up through the center of the state. And Kobuk had 16 here today. A lot of them are at surface level. When you see the 0 depth, that means they're right at surface level. So these are 2s. 2.4 looks like is the highest there. And the rest are like, here's a 2.2. And most of them are in the 1s range. So there's mining going on up there. Could be causing that. And then we've got movement spreading out across these mountains today and all the way up to Koktovik, a 1.3 up there. Now let's come on down to the lower 48. We've got a 1.1 at Ridgely, Tennessee. We've been seeing them here almost every day, almost right here in the same area. And this is in the New Madrid hazardous zone. And that one was at 9/11 last night. 9/11. Then Oklahoma is a 2.2 Union City and a 2.4 Blackwell. Then we've got one on the border between Arizona and Utah, 1.4, and then a 0.9 at Beaver, Utah. And then we've got a couple up at the top, a 1.1 and a 0.5. Now let's look at Yellowstone. We've only got only. We've got 11. It doesn't look like 11 there, does it? This is because they've clustered. And we've got a cluster going on at Old Faithful right here. We've got 7 clustering near Old Faithful Geyser. We've got a 2.5 here. That's the highest one, and 1.9, 1.9, 1.3, 1.7, 1.2, 1.6. So there's that cluster. Then we've got 2 here, 2.4 and 2.41 near West Yellowstone, Montana. And then 1 at 1.3 at Manhattan, Montana. So that's showing activity. And actually this Yellowstone region would run right down through this area here, through this Salt Lake City. You can see it where the mountains go there. It's part of that North American craton. Now in the Pacific Northwest, here is the new trimmer map. And I like the old one better. I know. It was easier. It was much simpler. You could see the number of hours that it was trimmering. So in the last 24 hours, oh my gosh, we've got 236 in the last 24 hours. Yesterday it was what? 173. So we've got an uptick. And I'm not sure this magnitude, this is not earthquake magnitudes. These are tremors. This is energy. This is what happens before an earthquake happens. And this is showing movement of this Cascadia subduction zone, this plate. And the majority of them are up here to the west of Seattle. And then we've got some down here between Salem and Eugene, Oregon. And then we've got some down here. Where is this? Klamath National Forest. Here's Shasta down here. So it's up, it's in Klamath, the Klamath area. So that's where they're clustering right now. So it doesn't surprise me to see earthquakes. Here's a 1.8 near Anacortes, Washington. There's how many here? 3 at Eatonville, a 1.4, 1.4, and 0.8. And this is just to the west of Mount Rainier volcano. Then we've got a 2-point magnitude explosion near Molalla, Oregon at 12:08 today. And I've shown how explosions cause more earthquakes to occur. Now let's go to Nevada next. Well, this one is just across the line of 0.7. Here's Hawthorne. It has a few. It's got a couple there stacked up. So Hawthorne has 6. There's 6 on the map here today. These are small, 1.2, 1.3 and under. Okay, here's this one staring at it's in the face at 4.2 near Warm Springs. This happened at 2:53 this morning. So that's a higher number than we normally see here. Here's a 1.6 and a 1.5 at Tonopah. And then down here in southern Nevada, we've been seeing, so it's coming back at Alamo. All of these are Alamo, except for this one at Beatty. So we've got 12 here. It's 11 at Alamo today. 2.6. Here's a 2.1. And the rest are under that. They're like 1s. So they've started back up at Alamo. Whatever they're doing there, I don't know. Now here at Mammoth Lakes, we've got 13 today. These are pretty small. 1.5 is the largest one. So these are Mammoth Lakes in the Long Valley Caldera. Here's a couple more at Big Pond. Excuse me. Sleepy. Coso Junction had 11 here today. These are 1s and under. .7 for Irwin. Here's one across the border in Baja. 2.4 near Alberto, Oviedo, Mota. Here's a 1.2 magnitude quarry blast, Bonita. So in Southern California, today we're seeing 20 on the map. That's not many. That's a low number for Southern California. There's a 1.3. So these are small. But small ones can lead to bigger ones, as we have seen. And this red line is the San Andreas fault line that runs right through. Runs along the west coast of California and runs right through down here in Southern California. And then where it picks up down here south of the Salton Sea, it becomes the Imperial Fault. .1 magnitude quarry blast near Orcutt. 1.5 Parkfield. 1.5 and 1.4 Tres Pinos and Pinnacles. We've got 2 at Gilroy, a 0.8 and a 1.6. .8 Pacifico. 1.8 Mira Beach, 0.8 at Berkeley, so we got activity. 1.7 Angwin, I'm going to do these next. 1.8 Pillsbury Lake, or Lake Pillsbury. 2.0 Redwood Valley. And then at the Geysers, we've got 49 here today. So that's a high number. So let's see. Anything 2.5 magnitude. We already got those. No, they're small. But it's still disturbing to see all of these. All this movement. .3 looks like is the highest one. So let's back out. See what else has come in. 2.0 Talkeetna, 1.2 Big Lake, so I think that's a wrap for our earthquakes. There's 2.6 Alamo, Nevada. That came in at 416. So I'd like to talk to people now about keeping holy company. And I think it's important as we go into these end times and the revealing is happening. It's called the apocalypse. It's also called the revealing, meaning to see what's been hidden, and things are being revealed. And in order for us to be able to get the guidance of God and Jesus and the angels and their help, we need to keep as holy a company as we can, because if we don't, that energy we're picking it up. We're going to be picking it up. And I believe that the lines are being drawn. They have been drawn, and time is short. Everyone is responsible for their own salvation, and you can only do so much. But I'd like to share from Corinthians tonight. This is Corinthians 6. I'm going to start in verse 14. And this is Paul speaking to the Corinthians. And this was when he was going around doing his preaching after Jesus died. Of course, he was saved after all of that. So, but he did a lot of preaching, and I find a lot of his words, comforting and that fit right in line. So he says, "Be ye not equally yoked together with unbelievers? For what fellowship hath righteousness with unrighteousness? And what communion hath light with darkness? And what concord hath Christ with Belial? Of what part hath he that believeth with an infidel? And what agreement hath the temple of God with idols? For ye are the temple of the living God. As God hath said, I will dwell in them, and walk in them, and I will be their God, and they shall be my people. Wherefore come out from among them, and be ye separate, saith the Lord, and touch not the unclean thing, and I will receive you, and will be a father unto you, and ye shall be my sons and daughters, saith the Lord Almighty." So I just wanted to leave that with people to think about, and just make your own choices and make your own decisions accordingly. But I like to call it keeping holy company. And I think that it's important that the closer we get to the end times, the more we need to be keeping holy company. So until next time, I bid you all good night. God bless you. Go in peace, and I'll talk to you soon.